Hello and welcome to OTR Love Team Time Trial Series. My name is Andy and I'll take you through the highlight show today. This is for Race 9, League 3, and we have 5 teams for you. And they are OTR Eureka, RTR, Australia Koalas, 3R Wiggles, and Australia Quackers. So we're all off. Let's see if we can get into that pace line as quickly as possible. Ooh, we're getting there. Koalas look good, but I can only see who is out in front for Quackers. Sorry, Koalas is Craig. Yes, so Craig's out in front. You got there Bryce, Michelle, and Dave is there as well, so 4 of them. So Eureka. Yes. So this is the first recording since Steve and Elliot had massive problems, loads and loads and loads of technicals for the whole team. And this is the first recording from that series of problems that we've been able to get from OTR Eureka, and yeah, incredible to see. So who do we have in front? You've got Brian in front, Johan, then you've got Alfred. Now I think Alfred is going to miss next week because he's got some surgery coming up, I think. Hope everything goes okay, Alfred, thinking of you. And then you've got Stephen, and finally we've got 2 Stephens, so Stephen Elliott, then Stephen Blackwell. For Koalas, we have Dave. So who's up front? So Craig's out front. Then you got Bryce, Michelle, and then Dave. So they're pretty much stable. RTR looking okay at the moment. There's been some gaps I've seen, but they're doing okay. So you got Philip, Andrew, Carolyn, Mark, Len, and Tony. And for 3R Wiggles, we do have them. Yes, we do. So Fred out front with Jonathan Geddes, Euros, Spud, and Gav. And this is a new team that's been formed recently from 3R Mushroom. And they're doing really well. They are doing a fantastic job, working really well together, and they're enjoying racing together as a team. And finally, we have Quackers. So you got Tim's there with Steve and Dan. So they're going to get hampered really in the fact that they need to finish as a team. But they're doing okay. So 15 minutes and 50 for Quackers. Wiggles is 16:07, RTR 16:44, Koala slightly behind in 16:55, and OTR Eureka is 17 minutes and 21. And that's for your 10k splits. So let's see what the difference looks between the 10k and the 15k, and whether we've dropped anybody. But looking at Quackers, they're doing really well. I do like the overhead view though. Reminds me of the game. I wonder what kind of game it reminds you of. So Eureka, everyone, yeah, so Johan's just going through now. Dave's up front for Koalas. Now looking at the average times, so Eureka is what, 35, 36, Koalas 34, RTR's around 36, Wiggles 37, and Quokkas again 37. So interested to see what that looks like. Having a few problems with 3R wiggles in steering, so we'll see what that looks like. But we did have a technical on the recording for wiggles, and they're back again. I don't know what happened there. I really don't. But looking at the times, we got Australia Quokkas with 23:41, very closely followed by Wiggles and 23:59, RTR with 25:03, Koalas closely behind them at 25:21, and then OTR Eureka at 25:50. So it'd be nice to see how Eureka get on between them and Koalas going forward. So I think that was for the 15-kilometer splits. Looking at the 20 kilometers, I don't see anybody's dropped so far. I think that's brilliant to see. Oh, no, we have got one. Unfortunately, Dave has had a technical, hasn't he? Looking at he's 700 meters behind. That's a real shame. But looking at everybody else, all of the teams are all working together. RTR, you've got Philip on front, then Glenn, Andrew, Tony, Mark and Carolyn. Wiggles, you've got Gav, Jonathan, Spud, Euros and Fred. For Koalas, you've got Craig, Michelle, Price, and as I say, Dave's actually both got back as well. And looking at Quokkas, I would say you need to calibrate, definitely, if you've got that ball on the left hand side. Oh, there you go, just calibrated. So Quokkas 31:42, closely followed by Wiggles 31:56, RTR was 33:14. So interesting to see. Let's see what goes on between the final. So it is looking as though you've got that switch between Eureka and Australia Koalas. And for RTR, you also have, we've lost Andrew, Carolyn and Glenn. So there's only the three, but they need to close that gap. Remember, it's taken on the third rider. For OTR Eureka, you got Bryce, Stephen, and Johan. We've lost Alfred as well. So Alfred has dropped back by about 470 meters. 3R Wiggles, you've got, Spud and Gav just going back into their group now, but they've got a little bit of a gap, which they will be closing as well, so watch that. We've only got 450 meters to go. But if you look at RTR, there's a huge gap there. You need to close that because time's going to be taken from that third rider. You'll be losing time because of it. Steve, Dan and Tim looking really good for Australia Quokkas. And for Wiggles, it looks as though Gav and Spud didn't close that gap enough. So Euros, Jonathan and Fred. But there is now a gap. But looking at gap, wow, that's awesome. So Euros, Jonathan and Gav coming through as the top three for Wiggles, and you got Michelle came through for Koalas. But looking at it, it was right at the very end that you had that split between Australia Koalas and OTR Eureka. Otherwise, it was position 10 for Koalas all the way to the 20k mark. And it looks as though, yeah, you had that switch between RTR and koalas on the 10K. So fantastic to see. Now let's have a look at the leader table for them. So looking at League 3, Australia Quokkas is in the lead with 7 points, 3R Wiggles with 6, RTR with 5, Australia Wombats 4, OTR Eureka with 3, Australia Koalas 2, Pokemotion. I don't think they did a race either this week, but they're not on the week 9 board, so they never even put a team together, which is a bit of a shame. But I think for week 9, possibly week 10, you're going to have the same kind of problems with getting riders in. Okay. Well, thank you for watching. This goes out to, a big shout out really to Peter Austin and Derek Bucock. I hope you guys are okay, thinking of you. And thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.